Alrighty, so this video is going to go over IXL T5, which is N5F. So this is not as long of one. So this is one of those IXLs that you just need to require so much time, not a SMART score that you have to reach. So something you're going to see on your EOC is asking for the volume of a prism. So this is a prism, it's a 3D triangle, and what it's actually not going to give you is the formula for a prism. So it is something that we will have to remember. So I put the formula up here, so at least for these purposes, we can just practice using the formula. Feel free to look it up and have it available to you while you're doing your IXLs and USA test preps. Perfectly fine. I'm going for more of the using the formula and application. So it says, what is the volume? Well, using this formula, volume is the base times the height times the length, all divided by 2. So the base is 8 times the height, which is 7, times the length, which is also 7, all divided by 2. Okay, so we have 8 times 7 times 7, which you can, of course, use a calculator for, which is 392 all over 2. So then we'll divide that by 2, which is 196. So the volume in cubic inches is 196. So again, it's just using the formula is what we're going for. Again, you're welcome to have it up while you're doing the IXLs. So let's go ahead and do the cylinder. All right, so it says, what is the volume of the cylinder? And I did put the, up here is the formula for volume of a cylinder. It is not going to give you that formula on your EOC. So it says, use pi, which is about 3.14, to round your answer to the nearest hundredth. So instead of typing in your calculator pi, you can just use 3.14, okay? So for this one, it says volume equals pi, which is 3.14, times r squared. Well, r stands for radius, and that is half the distance across the circle. So it's 4, that's our radius, so it's 4 squared times the height, which is 11. All right, so let's go ahead and do that 4 squared first. So we have 3.14 times 4 squared, which is 16, times 11. And then I would just type all 3 of those right into your calculator. So 3.14 times 16 times 11 is 552.64. Now it says to round to the nearest hundredth, and we did because the 4 is in the hundredth space. So this would be our final answer. All right, this is the last kind of thing you might see. So it's the same formula, however, it did a little bit of a trick to you. In the past one that we looked at, it gave us what r was, right? It gave us the radius. The radius is half the distance across a circle. Now, it gave us the total distance across the circle, but we only need the radius. So we need to understand that the r is actually only 12. It's not using that 24. It's trying to trick you. Make this a little bit, there you go. Okay, so let's use this formula. So V equals pi, which is 3.14, times the radius squared, which is 12, not 24, it's only half the distance, times the height, which is 11. So V equals 3.14. 12 squared is 144. Oops, I'll put that in parentheses. And times 11. And again, we can just type this right into our calculators. 3.14 times 144 times 11, which is 4,973 .76 is what I got. 0.76. And that would be your final answer.